The Activotics X-Rail slide kit can be driven either by a motor or a servo. In this video, I'll be talking about using a motor with the kit. As you can see, I'm using a Never Rest 40-to-1 gear ratio motor. These are great for an application like this because they have a fair amount of torque and a built-in encoder. I'm also using a 1.25-inch winch pulley. It is hub mounted, and so I'm using a 6mm D-bore clamping hub to mount that to the motor shaft. As far as mounting the motor and winch pulley to the project, I have a bottom tap clamping mount going to a surface mount adapter, and that's held in place by some slide nuts. Since motors don't have a closed feedback loop, it's going to be very useful to have an encoder like the encoder on this Never Rest here. It's a relative quadrature encoder, so instead of being like a servo where you can see exactly what angle you're at, it's counting as you rotate the shaft from the time you turn on your project. So it's going to be very useful for knowing how many turns you've gone so far, how fast you're going, and things like that. So you can actually get more advanced and reduce your speed the closer you get to your target. And another way of doing this would be using limit switches, but this is going to be much more compact, less wiring, and more precise. Relative encoders are called that because they only know how much they've rotated since you've started monitoring the encoder. So when you turn on your project, it'll start watching the rotation of the motor. Because of that, you can pre-wind this all you want when your project is turned off. While a servo is going to be more compact, lightweight, and easier to control, generally speaking, gear motors with encoders are going to give you options where you can get greater speeds and greater torque.